Let's get in Mr. Baldev Prakash, Chairman and MD of J&K Bank, to talk about what's next in calendar year 24. Mr. Prakash, good having you. Thanks for joining in. Just tell us, you've done 9 months and the numbers speak for themselves. What does the street expect? What can the street expect from you over the course of 2024?
Yeah. Good morning, Niraj. So one thing is there that in the month of April and May, what guidance we have given to the investors, we will be definitely meeting those guidance, rather surpassing in many areas. The bank has done extremely well as far as business growth is concerned, and we have been able to improve the assets quality of the bank also, and the profitability of the bank on a quarter-on-quarter basis has seen an uptick which has never happened in the history of the bank. This year, I'm very confident we are going to create another sort of record as far as the profit after tax is concerned.
No, I mean, those records, obviously, Mr. Prakash, will keep on happening as your base goes up. But I'm just trying to understand with regards to the quantum of growth. The earlier expectation was that FY24, you grow at 15%, a loan growth at least, and maybe advances pick up over the course of the next few years, because the targets that you laid out in multiple interactions as well as formally for FY27 or 28 are very stiff. So I'm just trying to understand, one, are you on track for all of that with the 20% odd advances growth? And would these growth targets happen with asset quality remaining pristine?
Yeah. So there are two aspects. I would reply your question in two ways. One is that how my home territory is doing. So my home territory, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, these territories are seeing the growth which is unprecedented. This could be because of the dividend of peace also, and the type of investment which we are seeing is something which encourages us that the overall economy will improve. Then the overall economy will improve. Obviously, the bank will get the share because we are having the market share here more than 67%. So that is one confidence, and the other is that the rest of the India book, which were having problems because of the quality of assets, now that is past us, and the rest of India book, where we are a niche player as far as the corporate book is concerned, corporate book of high quality PSUs or high rated companies, and we are also now doing a good amount of home loan in rest of the country. So given both these territories which are doing very well, I'm very confident that we will be definitely meeting the numbers which we have already committed.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Prakash. Let's just talk a bit about the quarter gone by, and, we're over the results season, etc. But was Q3 a little more challenging? You saw margins contract marginally, slippages increase marginally. Of course, quarter on quarter, not year on year. Year on year, you're still looking strong. I just want to get a sense of what were the challenges in this quarter, which are possibly broad-based, because we saw all banks, look at cost of deposits go up, etc. What has that story been for J&K Bank?
Yeah. So Tamanna, you have very rightly said this is an industry-wide phenomena as far as the cost of deposit is concerned. There could be many factors, but mainly I think it is an internal cannibalization, because the CASA is shifting towards term deposit, as well as some of the deposits are also going towards the capital markets. So this is what is happening across the industry, but definitely we are much better placed because we are still holding a CASA of above 50%, and which is a unique. So I'm very sure that we will be continue maintaining our this percentage of CASA and going forward also. And this confidence is coming from the steps which we have taken in the recent past. I'm very happy to tell you that the QR code and the POS given to the traders is we have done a phenomenal job in the last 2-3 months, and more than 400 QR codes have been given to the traders. Obviously, the entire money will be routed through CASA accounts. And the other challenge was, as you have told, that it is relating to the assets quality. I think assets quality has been a bigger success story of the bank. And the slippage ratio over the period of time, which we are seeing, hardly 1.25% slippage ratio. So which is one of the best in the industry. So from that point of view, we don't find any challenge as far as maintaining our guidance in at 4.5% of our gross NPA. And this 4.5%, I'm saying exclusive recoveries only. There's no technical write-off is included in this. So this is pure recoveries. So I'm very sure that fundamentally we are doing things in the right manner, and we will be definitely doing much better going forward on a quarter-on-quarter basis, also on the yearly basis also.
Let me come to the point you made on your CASA ratios and how, the whole QR code merchant sort of pipeline is coming through to them. And there's a bigger story here, which Niraj and I also were discussing earlier. The stability that you're seeing environmentally in the region, is that also sort of a big tailwind for you? And that is what is also fueling growth.
The biggest thing is happening is now the tourism is at a record level. Lot of tourists are coming to the valley, and because of tourism, not only the hospitality sector, which is getting positive impact, but entire ecosystem, the shikara, the small businesses, the restaurants, and everybody is getting benefit of that. And if you see the major QR code, if you see in the entire area, in entire valley and entire J&K, you will find that J&K Bank is the predominant player as far as QR code is concerned. And this has happened in a very recent time. So obviously this we have done keeping in view the challenge we are facing in CASA, and I'm very sure that we will be successful in maintaining our CASA above 50%.
I'm inclined to come back to the positivity around the valley and the resultant impact of that, Mr. Prakash. You are looking to expand to bigger metros, but J&K is your forte. Just trying to understand what will the differential in growth rates be between what you do in the valley versus what you do elsewhere. Can you break it down for us?
So, Niraj, if we see last year, I was telling that our rest of India book will be growing better than our home territory, that is J&K and Ladakh. But now, keeping in view the increased economic activity in our home territory, we are seeing that growth is coming from J&K and Ladakh also, as well as rest of India. So, what I'm saying, the growth percentage per se for both the territories it looks like almost equal for us. And I think that is what we are seeing as far as the expansion is concerned. 60% of the expansion will be happening in the rest of the India territories, and 40% will be happening in our home territory. In our home territory, of course, it will be driven by two factors. One, of course, the financial inclusion, because we are the leading bank. So first responsibility of financial inclusion comes to the Jammu and Kashmir Bank, and the rest other will be the strategic branches which will be driven by various demands of business coming.
Okay. Therefore, this guidance that you had given at the start of the year, right, that in 5 years you will be PAT of maybe 4,000 crores, if I'm not wrong. Gross NPAs will be lower than 4.5 by end FY24. And I heard you say at the start of this conversation that you will improve upon some of these metrics. You're sounding very constructive on rest of India and J&K growth as well. Are you revising any of the targets on gross NPAs for FY24 or the years ahead, on the PAT targets that you laid out maybe for FY28? Are you revising any of these targets?
As of now, Niraj, we are not looking to revise these targets, but we believe that we should deliver better than what we promise. And on both the counts which you have referred, and more than that, in all areas where we have given the guidance, we are working we are working to improve whatever we have guided to our investors.
I agree. On the profit side, let's assume the targets are tall. You don't want to overexcite, etc. What about asset quality? 4.5% in FY24 is a good achievement from what it used to be. Nowhere close to what it ideally should be. Mr. Prakash, and I'm guessing you will admit that too. And I agree it's a slow process. Just trying to understand, how do you anticipate the trajectory around NPS to be, let's say, for the next 2 years?
Yes. So this year it will be definitely less than 4.5%.
Sure.
And 4.5% exclusive recoveries only. There's no technical write-off included in this. So going forward, next year we are targeting 3%, and then to be among the best banks in the country going forward, FY 2025 onwards.
Just one last question, Mr. Prakash. I'm trying to understand all of the government spends in the region. How much of that gets pushed through a J&K Bank? So, for example, recently Prime Minister Modi came to the region. He's announced projects worth 32,000 crore rupees. Is this beneficial to your bank in any way?
So there are two parts to this, Tamanna. One is that the big infrastructure projects which are coming, those projects directly we are not having much exposure to those companies, but indirectly by way of a subcontracts, because subcontracts goes to the local population. So those are funded by us in the form of equipment and other small things. And other areas like the agriculture and the other infrastructure, because J&K Bank is the agency bank for government of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So because of that position also, we get a lot of business by way of from both the governments.
All right. So that's an interesting perspective. Thank you so much, Mr. Prakash, for speaking with us here on NDTV Profit.